Yo, what is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today, we got patch notes. Okay, this was at the end of the Warriors Den stream. I didn't get a chance to watch it live. I had to go somewhere. But we got patch notes. Let's go over them. I'm going to bring them to you guys. Let's see what they got.
Right.
What is getting nerfed? What is getting buffed? Let's find out.
I think that everybody wants nerf. Well, not everybody, but I think the rant subreddit wants it nerfed like quite a bit. So
whoever do you mean?
I don't think I know about
Virtuosa,
right?
Uh-oh.
So we do have some nerfs coming to Virtuosa.
Nerfs.
Yep. We're keeping an eye on Hero. We're gonna see where like she ends up after this, and we have like more changes coming a little bit. But first and foremost, well, actually, there's two changes.
Ooh, staying in posture.
So right now in
5
postures,
stam.
right? So when you stay
per
in
second.
postures, it will cost you 5 stamina per second. So essentially, whenever you get there, if you're just trying to babysit gank or hang around, your stamina will slowly drain. It doesn't apply when you're evading. So if you're evading, it'll pause that the stam drain, and it'll come back once you get out of evading. So really, that's to
this is a pretty solid nerf.
Staying in posture.
Pretty solid nerf.
And like help in those situations that feel really bad, right? Sometimes you get into a team fight. There's a Virtua next to you. She goes into posture, doesn't do anything, and just wait for you to you throw a big trajectory, and she dodges it. So that should help in those situations. We also are nerfing the garbage vulnerability of heavy attacks while in posture.
Hey man, that's what y'all wanted.
Before they had,
I mean, I'm not against the nerfs. I'm not against them.
Doing the math and looking at how they did all that sort of stuff, like they still are GB vulnerable, right? Like it's not because they were that low that they were like unbeatable or anything. The issue though comes around if as a Virtuosa you kind of read a little bit that your opponent's gonna like try to GB you, and you throw your heavy just quickly enough, those garbage would bounce, you would take a lot of damage. One of those heavies deal a lot of damage.
I would do that all the time.
We're nerfing them to be 433. So right now, if you're playing,
like you will sit in your stance a little bit,
interrupt garbage attempts,
and you will hold the stance just a little long enough to make him be like, all right, I'm about to GB you, and then you hit him with that heavy.
Absolutely.
So now you can GB out of that.
To read that they're going to garbage and then throw that, it's like, well, it's tricky. The timing can kind of work, but it's way harder. Right. So that should help alleviate some of those issues. The thing to note is that Virtuosa is a bit strange, well, not strange, but different in how she chains and enters postures, right? So if you're playing as Virtuosa and you throw a light or a heavy or whatever, and you stay there, she automatically enters posture, and then you have like your lights and your heavies. Yep. You have access to all of these attacks, regardless of if you enter posture or not, but they're slightly different. And so with the nerf that we've done to the garbage vulnerability to those attacks, it does not apply to the versions that you throw when you do not enter posture. So if you buffer them, you will not get 432 MS of garbage vulnerability because that would make her feel extremely weak.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're trying to like.
So okay, if you buffer inputs, understood. I get it.
We can get to where we need to go. Right. Next up, we have artful improvisation. So that we've increased the cooldown to 15 seconds, up from 10. Makes it a little bit less oppressive. Like it pops in a little bit less often. That should be good. And then finally, superior retort. Again, increase the cooldown to 30 seconds, up from 20.
Oh, sorry.
Again, a bit of quality of life playing against her. Like. Slight nerfs here and there for these things.
Do this.
We'll see where the hero ends up, right? That's it for Virtuosa for
that
this
should be
time.
good, right, Chad?
It should make a difference, and we'll see where it goes. At high-level play, these were not already necessarily huge problems, but I think it should really help address problems at like lower levels of play, not necessarily like super competitive like these folks that we had, but at like more normal levels of play, it makes a difference. So that's where we're going to be going with that.
All right.
Next up, we have Kensei.
Kensei buffs?
Don't worry. I know people already go, hey, I heard you wanted us to do something, so I nerfed Kensei instead. We're not nerfing Kensei, so that's great, right?
Like good, yeah. There's no way you nerf.
Enhanced, right? Same kind of thing that we had with Gryphon, where giving him enhanced helm splitter lets him peel a little bit better, lets him engage from externally a little bit better, gives him access to his big top heavy finisher a little bit easier. Yeah. So it's all these little changes should really help him tackle external issues a little bit better and give him more offense in those situations. So that's great. The other thing we've done is Pummel Strike has extra forward movement during the attack. So whenever you're going to Pummel Strike, you get a bit more range. Again, it helps you be able to engage from a little bit further and gives you just enough that you go, you know what, like it kind of feels bad that it whiffs.
I feel like you need a little bit more though.
Less often, right? Like, you can get a situation like it's kind of hard, doesn't feel too good. So
let's see.
That's where it goes.
It's easier to close the gap.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yep.
And then finally, all of his heavy openers, including the ones that you saw faint from top heavy, they all have extra forward movement. Again, to close the gap a little bit better, you're able to like get it a little. You can throw them from a little bit further away. You're still gonna end up hitting. So it makes for like a better package for Kensei, and that's what we have for now. So we're looking at other.
I think this is
things for
minor
Kensei as well
buff.
to kind of ramp up the hero a little bit more. Make
I
him
do
a
like the
little bit
helm
more
splitter
competitive.
enhanced though. I
He's
do
a
like that.
Vanguard. People have this impression that we don't really want to touch Vanguards too much because, you know, they're like starter heroes.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true. But Kensei's been, the feeling from a lot of players that Kensei has been super balanced for the longest time. Takes a lot of skill to play, like other Vanguards, right? The idea of Vanguards is that they have a pretty low skill floor, meaning you can do pretty well with them, even if you're not like a super great player, but their skill ceiling should be higher. And so that's where we're trying to adjust things around to get those heroes to play better. We have some pro players that are playing Warden competitively that are insane with them, like completely crazy strong.
Yeah.
So again, it's
But Warden's pretty
proof
solid
of
though.
where you can get
I
with
mean,
those heroes to get
I mean, what do y'all think? I always thought Warden was pretty solid.
Exactly, that's great. Then we have a couple of other changes, but some of them are a bit more meaningful than others, right? Especially, there's
Well,
this
what's
one,
happened to my Gryphon?
can now access forceful twirl. I'm gonna say properly. Forceful twirl. That's I don't know why that's a tongue twister, but I guess it is. So you can access it after a veteran's kick. So veteran's kick is this kick that he gets into his chains,
Right.
and you can use it's the version that you get after a parry, which means it has armor. So with Gryphon, you can actually now use this. Use that zone attack and then keep going. So it helps to get people off of you in group fights. Makes the kick a much better option, a much better option in group fights, without having to rely on those big trajectories that make you a bit more predictable. That is, it's a really really good tool.
I like that.
And it also resets your chain. So you go back to your second hits and chain, and you can keep going and going and going. So we wanted to give the hero a little bit more options. He's very, very simple, but is also quite powerful. We've seen, like just in the show match, there was 2 Gryphons at some point. So it's proof that the hero is played competitively is great, but always having a little bit more options makes those heroes a bit more interesting to play as well. So we're trying to do some of these changes as well to make it so that you have more fun playing them. It's more engaging. We also have Ocelotl.
Please, something good.
That correctly. So there's 2 big changes here, right? The first is that Hunter's Snare. So that's the heavy attack that he performs while he's in his like little crouching hunter stance. It now becomes armored, so it gains uninterruptible stance at 100 ms.
Okay.
This means that it's going to be much harder to get it peeled. You can throw it from further away. Anybody that hits you won't knock you out of it. It's also a crazy good kind of training tool, because if you get into that attack, and you see somebody come near you, you can react on red with this attack and do really cool stuff, be able to trade, get into your offense. So it's a nice little buff for the hero.
I like it.
On the other hand, we're nerfing his first feat a little bit. We're giving it
I've noticed
cooldown.
that.
So normally Huntsman's Spirit does not have a cooldown.
I noticed that these changes are more towards like their 4v4 capabilities, not much as their 1v1 capabilities.
Quickly, then you die again, and then when that happens, the other team will know 100% they can move away. One of the problems with that feat is, from what we've been hearing from competitive and stuff, and I understand it, right? It removes information. It makes it much harder to play the minion. That's why they kind of ban the feat, because you can't track him. You have no idea where he's going to be, and it forces you to stay on points a little bit longer. With this cooldown, it kind of, not that it forces them to stay, but if you do it twice and you know, oh, it's on cooldown now, you know you can go away. You know you can deal with it a little bit easier. So we'll see again how that ends up being, but it's a nice little nerf. 60 seconds is not the biggest thing, so you can still use it super often. But it should help in those situations where it doesn't feel as good, and it gives it a bit of counterplay as well.
Right.
Okay.
And
I
then
like it.
Finally, we have Warmonger.
Warmonger.
So this might not seem like a huge buff, but I played it again this morning. I looked at it again this morning, and it's actually pretty strong, right? So you might remember, I don't know if we did it with you, but you might remember that at some point we removed the fact that our light openers were enhanced, right? The reason was that her light openers were enhanced so that she could get access to Praying Claw.
Praying Claw, right.
It made it a little bit easier. And then Praying Claw landed a stab, and then that stab had a lot of, it had medium hit reactions and a lot of frame advantage. So you could go back into another light that was kind of a bit harder to react to, but that was also enhanced, and to keep kind of the Warden Vortex going, right? Warmonger was meant to have kind of like input parity with Warden, so that if you play Warden, you can play Warmonger, and you don't really have to. It's not super hard to kind of figure it out, right? So it's not. That's it. You don't have to relearn an entire new hero.
Yep.
So, but the problem was that by doing this, it made the hero a lot less functional. It made that mix up and where you can go with there like a lot harder to use, right? Because then you go back to neutral. If your light gets blocked,
I like Praying Claw can go into chain finishers now.
So with this, what we're doing is
like that
the stab you do after Praying Claw pushes a light rate hit reaction instead of a medium, because it doesn't need it anymore, because it now chains to light and heavy finishers. That light finisher is enhanced, so you get back that property that we lost on the opener, and on top of it, that light can also chain back into Praying Claw. So we're bringing back the functionality we had before in a slightly different way. It lets her get also a bit more pressure because those heavy finishers are really good. They're like
that's a good chain. That's a very important chain for Warmonger.
So it really helps the hero get into that position.
I think Warmonger just got a lot stronger.
Regain some of that strength that was lost a little bit.
Yeah.
Enhanced lights in neutral can be a bit hard to deal with by some players and stuff. So you still have to open up your opponents. You still have to get into chains. You still have to get into stuff, but you do get that vortex back and that.
And now being able to use heavy finishers from it with that armor on it for group fights.
Then, we also have some changes to Valkyrie. So her shield tackle strike, which is basically when you soft feint your heavy into guard break. She holds her shield. When you release it, it goes forward more. We had nerfed it after launch because it was a bit too strong.
I like it.
So now it's back to like a more respectable level. It's still useful. You can grab people from a little bit further away. It helps her offense a bit, and we'll see where that goes. But we also are looking. I know some people in chat right now are like, why don't my heavy finishers have undodgeable? Well, I'm not saying we're going to give her undodgeable heavy finishers, but we are looking at Valkyrie to see what can we do to push the hero, make her more interesting to play as. I know there's a lot of talk about like, well, I felt the old Valk was better. Oh no, I like better new Valk. There's a lot of like things that we're trying to address to go, how can we get the feeling that we had with the old Valk, but with an updated kit that makes a lot more sense and is more interesting to play as.
Right.
And then finally, a slight nerf to Shaolin. So Blink, which is his second 2 feet.
Oh yeah, Blink can now be dodged.
It was like kind of hard to dodge, right? You had to dodge at 466 ms at the max after it had been used. Right. That's a really, really demanding reaction check. So we switched it around so we can dodge it up to 566 ms after he started it. So if you see him blink, then it should be, in theory, a lot easier to dodge it, right? If you don't see him, it's still hard. You have to kind of know and whatever. You have to pay attention to like audio cues and a bunch of these different things. But if you see it, it should be easier to deal with and be able to get the upper hand and get somewhere you need to go.
Okay, cool. I like that. I like it.
For patch notes, with a big hero coming, it's a lot of stuff.
Great patch notes, man.
Really excited.
Virtuosa nerf. We got some Warmonger buffs. I mean, we got a little Kensei buff. I mean, all in all, I like it. Little slight Gryphon buff as well. You know, I like it. I like it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe on the video, and I will see you guys on the next upload. Peace.